All right, all right. You guys got sound now? Let me know if you got sound. Sound. All right. I definitely apologize. We have some audio challenges where when you have two cameras in the same area, you get a little bit of a feedback loop. So I muted one and forgot to unmute the other. And so hopefully everything's working now. You guys can hear me okay. All right. So 22X-4 box here, straight off the boat. This is, if anybody doesn't know, Lucas Powers. This is most of his trim scheme. And we just had Bradley from Bradley Fine Line Designs put a little bit of a touch up on it. Couple little changes there for the box art. And then the body in the kit is clear, and you do get a sticker sheet, but it's not the fluorescent chrome covered stickers like you see here on the box. So, all right, inside the box, you have a body here, nice low profile, sleek body, and it's almost looks like an 11 scale body. It's just a little bit smaller than all the other bodies out there, so it fits really tight. It's very low profile, cab forward design. You do have the channels here in the front, which guide the air and give a lot of steering in the front. And then you have the tail here in the back, the fin. It gives a little bit of side bite, but we didn't make it all the way, and we didn't make it too big, so not too much. But a really good balance between those. So the body's been really good. And then this is a 0.7 millimeter polycarbonate, which we call lightweight. Our old bodies used to be 1.0. And those were considered regular weight. And then we also have the ultra lightweight option, which is 0.5 millimeter polycarbonate. So, all right, body set aside. We got our wing here, TLR 6.5-inch wing. No changes there. These wings are great. They're super durable. I know a lot of guys run them on different cars. So there's the wing, as always, included. And then let's see, we got bag G here, and bag G looks like the front spindle caster blocks CVA assembly, so kind of your outer front end assembly. Got bag F. Bag F is the gearbox, shock tower, front arms, so basically your front end inner assembly, pivots, bearings. So there's your bag F. Making a pile next to me here. So I got bag I here, which is the rear outer suspension. So the CVs, axles, hexes, hubs, VHA style rear hub. So we got that. We got, let's see, here's bag B. So this is the slipper assembly. So this is a complete slipper assembly, including the spur gear for spec racing and modified racing and the pads and everything. So we got that slipper assembly. We have a spare hardware bag here. So it's just one or two of all the hardware in the kit as a spare in case you drop one, lose one gets lost in the bag, whatever. You got your extras in here. You shouldn't need any of this, barring any issues. So just set it aside, put it in your parts box when you're done building. Kind of keep it as spares. And we have, let's see, bag H here, and this is the rear suspension, rear gearbox, inner pivots, arms, hinge pins, rear shock tower, wing mount, all in this bag H. Is probably the biggest bag of the kit. So we got bag A right here. So this is the front and rear diff assemblies, main diff assemblies with the powder metal gears. The kit, one nice thing, it does come with aluminum cross shafts, oil, and everything. So that's all set. So we got bag D here, which is the shocks. So front shocks, rear shocks, G3 style shocks with the 3 millimeter shock shafts. We got bag C, and this is your turnbuckle assembly. So all of your turnbuckles, camber link, steering, tie rod for the actual steering, servo steering assembly. Let's see. One thing that's cool about the TLR kits is you get this. This bag's called the tuning parts bag, and basically, it's all different parts that help tune the chassis on your vehicle that are included. So you get like the inserts for different hub heights, longer eyelets. You have some inserts for your pills that aren't part of the kit setup, different spring cups to raise and lower your springs, different battery mounts to move your battery around, and some extra shock travel limiters. So a lot of things that you can tune different setups on. So yep, good to have that there. Again, if you build to kit setup, you won't need anything out of that bag. So here's bag E, which is the chassis assembly, we're calling it. So it's mud guards, motor mount, steering assembly parts, chassis braces. So basically the first thing that you build is the chassis there, after you've built the diffs and shocks and turnbuckles. And then we got bag J, which is the last bag here. You got a full set of yellow wheels, your battery mounting accessories, motor mount accessories, front scoop, wheel nuts, things of that sort. And we have our chassis in here. Comes in a bag so as to keep it nice and scratch free. And you can get your little serial number sticker right here. I usually pull those off, but you have your nice machined and a flattened chassis here. So you see all the pocketing in there. So quite a bit of pocketing in the front, and then in the rear under the battery and motor, these big, large pockets. So quite a bit of pocketing. Keeps it nice and light. And then we have the instruction manual bag, and you have an ad that shows you some of the option parts. You have your window mask, some tools, antenna mount, servo tape, and your sticker sheet back between those two. So that's kind of our unboxing. I'm going to go ahead and put all these bags back in here. I'll leave the body and the wing and the chassis off to the side. And then we'll go ahead and I'll open this bag first, the instruction manual bag. I use a hobby knife here. Sharp blades are best, not dull blades. That's how you get cut. And always when you're cutting, cut away from yourself. You never want to cut towards yourself. It's just dangerous, regardless of how good you are. So let's see here. We have a couple of tools. We have see, that's why you cut away from yourself. You have a cross wrench and a flat wrench here. This works great for adjusting your turnbuckles and holding some shock mounts. I'll show you that. And then a cross wrench. I won't really use this because I have handled tools, but it is good to keep because it does have a 5.5 on this end, which you will use from time to time. You'll need a second 5.5. So it is good to keep one. I do have one in my toolbox already. So here's your window mask for the body. So that'll be way, way, way later. Have some servo tape here. We'll set that aside. And here's call this a slip sheet that comes in. Shows you some of the tuning parts and option parts for your 22X4, a center diff kit, LCDs, titanium turnbuckles, ball studs, some carbon plates, aluminum, steering rack, stuff like that. And then some other great accessories from Spectrum Dynamite and TLR, pit mats, car stands, things of that sort, shock shaft tools, so on and so forth. So you got that. So you can look over. You got your sticker sheet here, and obviously this goes at the very, very end. You'll put these on your body after you've pulled off the overspray film, after you've painted it. So you can go ahead and set these aside for a while. And then here's our manual. I'm probably going to have this open on the table and kind of peruse it, but really, honestly, I don't need it to build the 22X4 anymore. So you might not see me looking at it too much, but obviously if you're unfamiliar with the vehicle, make sure to use it as much as you can. Just in general, you have some warnings up front, which everybody should read. And then this page, everybody skips, but it's got some good stuff in here that basically says, in English at the top and then other languages below, but welcome to the car, and then the kit manual organization. And I'm just going to read this or paraphrase it real quick because it is good info. And depending on the kit, it's even more important. So basically, this kit comes with bags marked A through J, tuning parts and spare hardware. If assembling to the recommended kit setup, the tuning parts and spare parts bags will not be needed. It is highly recommended to only open one sub bag at a time. For example, bag A1. Once complete with the manual steps to complete this bag, you should have no parts remaining and be ready to move on to the next sub bag, for example, A2. Tuning parts bag has some additional tuning parts such as suspension pillows, shock limiters, on and on. And if building to the kit setup, you will not need the parts in this bag, but you should keep them handy for possible chassis tuning at a later date. So that's that list of tools required. And then this page is also really key. There's a bunch of icons that we have that we use throughout the manual. You can see one here for black grease. And some of them are pretty obvious, but some of them people don't know what they mean. So this one, for example, means ensure free rotation. This one means ensure proper orientation. The reason why we have these is because if we had to add the text of what each one of these means and then translate it in all the different steps of the manual where we use them, the manual will get really wordy and very lengthy. So that's kind of that. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just leave it open for a minute. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But otherwise, in a minute or two here, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. And I'm going to start a new video, and we're going to build diffs. So does anybody have any questions? Let's see here. All right. I'm not seeing any questions come through. That's a little bit better. All right, so that light's better. All right, so I didn't see any questions come in, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, and then I'll be right back on a fresh video. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do one thing. I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to use the cam here. I'm going to show you guys kind of my work area, just so you know I got it ready for wrenching. So I have my Ogio bag down here with my parts, hardware, and everything else that I need. I have my box here off to the side, and you can see the body and the chassis. See, put those like that out of the way, and then the chassis here. So I have those all ready, and then I have my computer here that I'm doing the video on, and I have my iPad here so that I can see all the comments very easily and get back to you guys. But one thing you'll notice is I got a nice big work area here. It's nice and cleared off. I got a comfy chair that my kids got me for Christmas. I'm all set. I have my Makita here. My power is the impact style driver. A lot of people use the non-impact style clutch driver, which works very well also. But I definitely, spent a little bit more on the Makita, but for me, it's definitely been worth it. Got a brush, some MIP tools, greases, X-Acto knife, and some pliers, scissors, dynamite shock tools, and a few other things. So basically, I got all my tools here. I got all my working stuff here. I have a tray here that I use to hold parts while I'm building a kit. So I can basically open a bag and I can dump it in here, and then I have all the parts available. So I have that. Here's the wrench that came in the kit. I'll just keep that up here with the antenna tube. And I got some water, some motor spray, some Simple Green, some of this dynamite cleaner, which works really good. It's Absolute Force. I actually use it quite a bit. But yeah, that's the setup. So this is what I have, basically ready to go, so I can build the kit and not really have to stop or, jump out and do anything different. And that's that. So I'll just check real quick and see if we have any questions. If not, I'm going to jump out and then jump back in, and we'll start with bag A, doing the diff assembly. All right. Okay, I do have a few questions. Jose Caldero asked, carbon parts are chamfered. Yes, they are. I think every single carbon part is chamfered on at least the top edge. Bruce Elam, are there setups for carpet? Yes, I posted setups, or we had setups posted to tlracing.com today that include my carpet setup from 702 Raceway and the Toys for Tots race back in December. So for carpet, that's where I would start. Let's see. Christopher K, because I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name. What front wheel? Let's see. I keep forgetting I have all this cool stuff. I could show the questions. All right, Christopher K. What front wheels does it use? Is it the same as the two-wheel drive, or are they new? So the four-wheel drive always uses a different wheel. It has a different width to it than a two-wheel drive wheel. It's a little bit wider. And we updated the wheel for the new car to have a different offset to match the IFMAR rules. So it's a 4mm offset. All right, Kevin Boyle, when is it released and what sort of price? So these kits, I think you can see online that some hobby shops are receiving them already. And the MAP price for the 22X4 is $499.99, which makes it one of the cheaper four-wheel drives on the market. And definitely, I think when you see all the carbon and aluminum that you get, the value's there. Let's see. Jeff Kaufman shared the part numbers, yellow wheels, white wheels. Thank you, Jeff. All right. All right, guys. So, yep, we got all of our questions answered there. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'll be back on in about a minute doing the slipper, or not the slipper, but the diff builds.